It was February. I had just left my daughter Kelsey and her fiancé Matthew in San Francisco and was heading to meet my friends Mark and Scott and get a little warm weather riding in along the beautiful Tucson Loop in Arizona. All right, we're off. Checking out the trail system of Tucson, the Loop. It's a beautiful, cool, early February morning. Big expectation of rain. It's been rainy lately throughout the whole West. We're hoping to get some good sunshine somewhere along the line, but it won't be today. Despite the blue sky, heavy weather continued to dominate the forecast. I'm riding today with Mark and Scott. Mark is usually our route planner. He is the best route planner I've ever ridden with. Just excellent. One of the first things you notice as you're riding the Tucson Loop is the artwork seemingly all along the route. Today's kind of an exploratory ride. We're just kind of checking things out. Probably be a shorter ride, I suppose. Just kind of getting a feel for the trail system. Very nice. Excellent surfaces. Great way to spend a week in February. Keep those legs moving.
Question mark?
Mark just being a good Samaritan.
All the people. Like
Shakespeare,
Got ourselves a little flash flooding here.
Quite possibly the easiest 11 miles I've ever done.
Yeah, I know. It's like
downhill and downwind.
yeah, so flat, one little hill up to a bridge, and it was
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
it.
Even though it was cool, our first day on the Loop proved to be a success, and we enjoyed the change of pace, the sunshine, the desert vibe, the excellent trail system, and most of all, the company. And later that night, I went to the airport to pick up Julianna, who'd flown in from Denver to meet us. It had been a while since we've had an adventure together. Hello there.
Hi.
Ready to go, babe?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Tucson, warm weather.
Yeah.
Man, this is nice.
Shaping up to be a gorgeous day. We just took off. And yeah, this looks fabulous. Hello. All right, it's been raining somewhat in the last few hours overnight, and the world is all fresh and beautiful. We're going to Saguaro National Park today. How exciting is that? We get to see the cactus and get a different perspective of this lovely trail system. Heading to the national park meant that at some point we would leave the Loop and the trails and become acquainted with Tucson road riding. But for now, we just enjoyed the smooth tarmac. Look who's back! Welcome back, babe. Julianna's here and she's loaded for bear.
So happy to be in warmth again, stepping out of the deep freeze.
Yeah. As you can see, most of this loop system kind of follows these arroyos, these washes, flood zones. When the flash floods come and the rains come, typically very dry, as it is today, even though it rained last night, creates a really nice setup for bicycle trail system. You can see those lines, all different levels of where the river's risen and fallen. Creates a lovely little trace of where it's been. A trail system for cyclists and for all kinds of users. Lovely art along the trail.
This is so cool.
Yeah, it's totally
love
different,
this.
isn't it? Yeah. I love that. I wonder if there's like some, what do you call it?
Hieroglyphics or something.
Petroglyphs? Yeah.
Petroglyphs, yeah.
Yeah. Or like just some old gas station signs.
Yeah,
You know.
could be a Texaco
It could be,
sign.
oh, cool.
Well, we're old enough now, some of those childhood signs might qualify as ancient. Look at those trees starting to leaf out.
Yeah,
Agave, it looks like over there underneath, that they make tequila from, if I have that right.
exactly. Scott was a landscape architect before he devoted his entire life to cycling.
It's either corrupt contract contractors or really weird soil. But all the roads are like it. Yeah, Scott was just talking about the quality of these roads, and they're really atrocious. Most of them really, really crazy. But the paths, perfect. Paths are good. Yeah, night and day between the trails and the roads. Good bike lane system, but they're just dirty and cruddy. Oh, glass. Gonna be seeing a whole lot more of those.
Once we left the trail system, riding conditions definitely got worse, but after a rather chaotic construction zone, we were on a highway with a comfortable shoulder leading us out of town.
Nasty little road construction zone, but now we're in good shape. Getting closer, a couple miles. Heading for Saguaro National Park to the southeast of Tucson. Ah, here we go. Well, you got us here. What they said in that show on the national parks, America's Greatest Adventure. Yeah. And they're usually pretty special places. Oh, like, everyone I've been to. Yeah. What's great is when you're ready to film and you just drop a shot block. So now you've got a mouthful of gum. All right, right in the national parks here, the Saguaro National Park. Just picked up a pass. You know, I'm 64 years old. You probably wouldn't believe it was $60. Get a lifetime pass. So I'll never have to pay for a national park again, which is pretty great. And we are gonna spend some time checking out these beautiful cacti. Oh boy. How are your brakes? Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this.
Saguaro National Park is comprised of two separate districts, split by the city of Tucson. The part we're visiting is to the east of town and offers a loop that, while less than 10 miles long, makes for a lovely little roller coaster ride filled with the most spectacular views and things to slow your roll. I'm sure there's a reason why all the plants here seem to be designed to put a hurt on you, but especially in spring, the flora here is just beautiful and very otherworldly.
You get these ups and downs that are just kind of perfect.
While the saguaro has been seen as a symbol of the American West for many years, it's only native to the Sonoran Desert here in southern Arizona and western Sonora in Mexico. They're slow growing, and some of the larger cacti exceed 150 years of age. Seeing them spread across the desert, like a broad, dispersed forest, is truly a sight to behold. The national park was only established in 1994, although the land has been protected for 100 years or so. Scott took off to make some time, as he'd ridden this loop before, and Mark, Juliana, and I took our time circling the park, savoring every viewpoint, and doing what one does in a national park. We gawked. And we relished the smooth pavement, the short climbs, and the chance to be riding outside under the Tucson sun.
looking good. It's a little harder to do this one-handed. These bikes are so twitchy, you know?
Right. Different than a touring bike.
Quite a bit. Isn't she lovely? So good to have her back. She's been around the whole time, just on little piddly rides in Denver.
While we centered our rides here on the Tucson Loop, we didn't stick to the trail system, opting instead to do a mix of rides and routes that would get us to places like Saguaro National Park. Invariably, we found the riding on streets and roads to be a bruising affair, with mostly very rough pavement, a sharp contrast from the quality of riding on the loop itself.
Trying to cut through these neighborhoods to try to get away from those gnarly streets, but these are the worst streets and the worst roads I have ever seen. Bike paths are great, smooth, beautiful, but these roads are horrible. And here we are back on the beautiful trail system. So much nicer. Wow. I believe we are on the Chuck Huckleberry Trail. Chuck Huckleberry Arroyo Trail, something like that. Oh yeah. How you doing, baby?
Getting my booty handed to me today,
Hey.
but it's all good.
It's good training.
It's good training.
We
yeah.
came here with the idea in mind that we would get some good rides in and kind of kick off our season, right?
Yeah, pretty much. After a tough winter.
Yeah. Well, it's still in the middle of winter,
Yeah,
actually.
but-
I don't mean to be too pessimistic.
Yeah, I know. It's just been a tough couple months. But we came with the right people too.
Yes.
Mark and Scott.
Yeah, he's just a little orange dot. And Scott he does like 4 trips around the country or wherever around the world a year, and used to do quite a bit more. He's
They're both
serious,
beasts.
yeah, they're beasts.
They are.
We are not beasts, and you know, we're gonna rest, and they're moving on, and that's all
No, we'll
good.
catch 'em.
We'll catch them. And it's a beautiful day. Mwah.
Doodling, how sweet.
I know. It's what
Yes,
we
it
do
is.
best. Another bit of a headwind, like yesterday. Got a front coming in. It's supposed to be rainy all day tomorrow. Come down to the desert and getting a lot of rain. But that's the way it works in February, apparently. And tomorrow's gonna be, I guess it's a rest day. We'll catch up on something else to do in Tucson. So what do you do on a rainy day on a bike trip in Tucson? You check out the Titan Missile Museum. Right, here's our launch control and monitor.
From 1963 to 1987, there were as many as 54 Titan II missile sites across the U.S., but this is the only one remaining in something resembling its previous state.
We get everybody inside. Can everybody hear me, see me okay from where we're at? The level we're on right now is the actual control center, access the nerve center for the entire silo complex. All right, we all get that? Once we turn those keys, there is no stopping this launch. There is no abort procedure. There is no self-destruct. Even if the president himself tried to order you to stop, you've already turned those keys. You got 2 words for him. Sorry, sir.
Taking the tour brings one in touch with the Cold War, our place in it, and the existential threat that we all lived with and continue to live with today.
I would want to see that coming down the highway. I'll bet a nuclear weapon, a warhead at least. Well, that was probably the one. That was fast.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, the sun did rise the next morning, and found Mark and Scott wrangling over creating a proper route to visit the San Xavier Mission, just south of town.
Day 3 of riding here in Tucson. Gonna be going through the campus today. And then we're gonna be heading down to Mission de Xavier Mission. We'll see how that goes. It's a very brisk morning. Rainy yesterday, rained last night. Ground is still warming up. There was snow up in the mountains, fresh snow, but obviously nothing down here. And it's supposed to be an okay day. Somewhere in the mid 50s, I think. Very clean. Tucson's it's a nice town for the air. The air quality is great. Skies are dark at night and don't really see a lot of haze or pollution or that kind of thing. It's nice. How you feeling, baby?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lovely campus of the University of Arizona. I always envy the runners. They can be out here in shorts, t-shirt. They're so warm, but with this speed, it's got a brisk wind. It's chilly, but we're starting to warm up.
All the sailors,
Oh, really?
they went down.
So yeah, right here on the main part of the campus. Well, why don't you tell us, Scott?
Well, University of Arizona, so they memorialized the battleship Arizona sunk in Pearl Harbor at the beginning of World War II. And they've actually laid out the profile of the ship with a granite curve that goes all the way around. And along the perimeter of this memorial, they have small medallions with the names of all the sailors that went down with the ship.
Sobering reminder, an awesome thing to have in the middle of a campus, kind of remind them, the freedoms that they got and the cost that it took to get there.
Into that, brother.
What's that?
Miss it? Little robot running around the campus.
Yeah, we saw these self-driving cars in San Francisco. Here's a robot just cruising around the campus.
This would be our last day of riding in Tucson. We spent the morning riding through the manicured and elegant University of Arizona campus.
It's a Sunday, so the campus is very quiet today, but definitely not dead.
Market going on,
Yeah,
selling stuff.
yeah.
Wine is one of them.
Really? They're selling wine here
Yeah.
on campus. That's crazy.
Love this place.
World is definitely changing. A whole lot of these old repurposed gas stations through here. Very old architecture, like 20s, I would say, along with the new.
And then we cut through the old parts of town until we reached the part of the loop that would take us south towards the mission.
Hey, 5 points. We were here. All right, after a bit of some rough streets, we're on those beautiful smooth paths. It's interesting because they just don't take care of their roads, but the paths are always in really, really good shape. This is gonna take us pretty far south, kind of right on the edge of town. So what do you think of the riding out here in Tucson, babe?
I like it. Just not as warm as I was hoping it would be.
Yeah.
The streets are really much better in Denver, but I think it's the company that makes it feel good.
That's really important. We kind of caught it on a particularly rough week.
Yeah, on the tail of a storm,
Yes.
but it's all right. We're having good rides. That's all that matters.
Yeah. It's snowing in Denver right now.
Yeah.
So this is how we're going to be able to get our rides in. It's February. It's sketchy all over in the northern hemisphere. Sometimes paradise is hard to find. Hello.
Like the other day's ride to Saguaro, the trail system unfortunately does not take you to some of Tucson's more interesting destinations.
And here's where the path runs out. We'll have to take some roads, some highways, some bike lanes, see how this all goes. This is where we're not 100% sure what we'll find today on Super Bowl Sunday.
Today we would be forced to take some very busy roads through chaos and the urban sprawl of the strip-malled suburbs.
All right, now we're on Mission Road, which should be a lot nicer. I don't know if you can see all that broken glass on the side of the road. There's a lot of broken glass on the side of the road.
And then it was on smaller roads, through the San Xavier Indian Reservation into the mission itself. Founded in 1692, the Mission San Xavier del Bac has been a well-known pilgrimage site for centuries. The first church began construction in 1700, but was destroyed in Apache raids by the 1770s. The present building was constructed between 1783 and 1797 and is considered to be the finest example of Spanish colonial architecture anywhere in the United States.
I'm good. This goes back to Albuquerque.
Yeah, some
Feed on those pots, huh?
good old fry bread there.
We grabbed a bite to eat and were on our way back to the Airbnb to watch the Super Bowl and found the usual issues with the road riding and some less than ideal portions of the loop as well.
We're back on a bike path. Thank God. This has been some of the roughest, bumpiest riding. That bottom is just hamburger. Ouch. Hello.
But if one is willing to not stick to the trails and suffer the conditions of most of the roads, the rewards in riding in Tucson are tremendous. If you're looking for a break from the cold that grips most of our country in the winter months, Tucson's a destination you should seriously consider. Enjoy your winter getaway and happy trails.